everyone, welcome back to my channel, Filipina Life with Mia. So for today's video, I have another topic which is all about how to deal with Tampo. So I'm guessing that most of you already heard about the infamous mood or sulking called Tampo. But just for a fact, Tampo here in the Philippines is unique and with a twist. It starts suddenly and for often no apparent reason. And if you are dating a Filipina, well, I'm 100% sure that you have already experienced it. The first time you experience Tampo, well, you probably won't know what to do, and you will probably feel confused and maybe a bit helpless. But more than likely, if you are experiencing, then well, you can rest assured you did something wrong, whether you know it or not. It could be something small, such as glancing at another girl, or you being a naughty boy, or more serious stuff. The Tampo or silent treatment can happen because of a multitude of reasons. For instance, you might be busy and not giving her enough attention, or maybe you don't appreciate her cooking or something. So there's a lot of things that can trigger the so-called Tampo. Now, Tampo here in the Philippines usually starts with being silent, then things get noticeably quiet all of a sudden, and then suddenly you hear her on the phone talking in Cebuano or Tagalog, and when you look at her, her brows crunch up and with an angry look plastered on her face. Now, the thing about Tampo that it can often creep up on you and might surprise you, especially you Westerners who are not used to it. So, enough about the reasons. Now we will talk about how to deal with Tampo and the effective ways to stop her from using it all the time. Because you also have to remember, too much Tampo is like a weapon that we Filipina use to get what we want from you. And you, as a man, need to stop that type of behavior if it goes too far. Remember, we Filipinas like strong men. So, then the question is, how do you deal with Tampo? Now, your first instinct might be to walk away and wait till things are calm. Well, let me tell you, please don't ever do that. It will only irritate your partner and make things even worse. Now, there are better ways to deal with Tampo, and we'll start with number one, and that is naming the situation. Now, when you notice that your partner is giving you this silent treatment, you have to think about what you said or did to make her feel like that. And when you are ready, try approaching her and say something like, "I noticed that you are not responding me," or "I noticed that you are not talking to me." Then ask her in a calm or gentle voice about the reason as to why she is acting like that. Now, in that way, this lays the foundation for the two of you to engage with each other more effectively. And you also you must emphasize to her that you want to resolve things, and when resolving things, you have to learn to communicate with each other, and in that way things will get better. Well, it's not your fault that they gave you a silent treatment. You still have the responsibility to ask for forgiveness if you have done something wrong. And if they still don't want to talk to you, well, give them time and space and tell her to talk to you when she's ready. But of course, don't wait for a long time, because that might cause a problem in your relationship as the time passes by. But basically, don't let it stew too long, as this turns out a simple thing to a larger conflict. The second one is acknowledge the other person's feeling. Acknowledging your partner's feeling really helps the situation. If you are not aware and just go about your own daily routine while her eyes and face are screaming Tampo, then you are basically telling her indirectly that you don't care about her feelings. Now, if you go around just thinking about yourself and not trying to put yourself in her shoes, that will certainly not help the situation. Asking the other person to share their feelings about the situation could help de-escalate the problem by letting out her frustrations. Now, don't be surprised if the tears start rolling when she eventually starts talking. Wow, that kind of rhymes, doesn't it? No, by having a great conversation about her and your own feelings about whatever triggered the Tampo, it shows that you really actually care about her and her feelings. It shows her that she means something to you and that you respect her. You respect her thoughts, her feelings, and you are willing to engage with her on her level. Now, the most important thing in any conversation is to listen. That is why God gave you ears, but only one mouth. I know most guys want to try to find solutions, but the truth is, sometimes we just want you to listen. And the third one is choose the right tone and words when talking about the issue. When addressing the issue between you two, you also have to think about the tone and which word to use when talking about the issue. It might be better to use soft words or questions instead of being assertive. Now, when your partner's tempo has died down and she is being more open, then start approaching the issue. Like I said, approach it carefully. Approach her like a wounded animal that can turn and bite you with any wrong move. But seriously, guys, just choose your tone and words and thoughtfully, and it should be fine. The next one is agreeing to work toward to a more open and communicative relationship. Dating in the West is vastly different than dating here in the East. I believe that most Westerners view Tampo as a childish act and unnecessary behavior. Well, here in the Philippines, we grew up in a culture where it is normal to withdraw or ignore other people or situations that hurt our feelings. It also gives us time to think about what to say and how to approach our partner. Remember that the culture in the Philippines is non-confrontational. So for us, we don't scream and shout at you. We withdraw. We grew up normalizing that it is okay not to talk about it and let the situation calm itself, or let the issue be solved in a different way. We also grew up learning that voicing out how we feel is something that we should be ashamed or shy of. Again, we learn to be non-confrontational. Now, when your partner is in the mode of Tampo, tell her that you understand where she's coming from. But you also have to tell her that there's a lot of ways of approaching the issue, and that starts with communicating with each other. Now, she will change with time and get used to your way of doing things, but it takes time to change this behavior. Try your best to assure her that you won't take it the wrong way, and that having a successful relationship is based on good communication, especially when things go wrong. Talking to you is not something that she should feel embarrassed or ashamed of. I know that it will take time before she does less tampo and gets better at communicating the issue with you. Now, any change in a behavior that has been with a person, a lifetime will take and consistency to change. So be patient and understand that this is a different culture, and the girls here are different from the West. At the same time, be careful that she is not using tampo as a control mechanism. You'll have to be the judge of that. Now, the Filipino guys use the same method to handle tampo with their girlfriend. But I have to tell you this. Sometimes they take it too far by apologizing to us Filipinas, even if they did not do anything wrong. And that is where all hell breaks loose. You don't want to go down that road, because normalizing it, asking forgiveness every time she has tampo, even if it's not your fault, well, that could be used to manipulate you. So you have to be careful every time she is in tampo mode. Think before you act or say something. The goal here is to meet each other halfway and not be one-sided. So that's the end of my discussion about this matter. So I hope you all like it, and thank you for watching. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and share also. So thank you, and stay safe, and God bless. Bye bye.